This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, auto repair shop owners. We are in St. Louis, Missouri at the Spring MAP Conference, Motorist Assurance Program. If you don't know what that is and you're not a motorist assurance shop, if you want to increase your sales and provide more trust to your customer, go to motorist.org or AMRA.org and join AMRA and become an AMRA MAP shop, a motorist assurance program shop. Normally, we hold these conferences at hotels. Not this one. This one is pretty unique. We are at Hunter Manufacturing in St. Louis, Missouri. We are in their research and development building. And Leonard Martin is our guest today. We're just going to do our little short podcast here. He is the director of U.S. Automotive Retail and Vehicle Protection Products at, and I'm sure you've all heard this name, J.D. Power. So J.D. Power is a global leader in automotive data and analytics and provides industry intelligence, consumer insights, and advisory solutions to the automotive industry and select non-automotive industries. So 20 plus years of progressive experience in automotive customer experience, financial services, and retail sales. Leonard's got 35 years altogether plus in this auto industry. So you've been around the block a little bit, huh, Leonard?
A few times.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, how'd you get into the industry? And this is a pretty prestigious position to hold with J.D. Power. So tell me a little bit about the climb.
Yeah, well, I started my career at Chrysler Financial.
Okay.
So I started in financial services and 20 plus years with Chrysler and worked in a number of different progressive roles across the United States in various capacities. And I left in 2008 after bankruptcy. And
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So got into retail. I was one of those guys who advised dealers on how to improve sales and service processes and had never done it.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually that guy, right?
Right.
And so after the bankruptcy, I said, hey, look, I can do this.
Okay.
And so I went and I worked in auto retail. I worked for Sonic Automotive.
Okay.
And so I got hired out of, from Sonic by J.D. Power.
Oh, by J.D. Power.
Yes.
Okay, from Sonic.
Yes.
Okay, working at Sonic. So let me see if I can get some questions here that'll help. What are the direct benefits that J.D. Power provides the auto repair shop owner? How does the auto repair shop owner benefit from all the data and the research that you guys do?
Well, I think, what we're doing currently, right? Everybody's familiar with CSI, which is our dealer service satisfaction study, right? We've been publishing that study for, well over 30 years. And so we, finally got to the point where we're looking at the aftermarket service experience. What drives customer satisfaction with aftermarket service providers?
Okay, right. All right.
So we're publishing the Aftermarket Service Index. That study has been published since really this is the 5th year published.
Oh, what's it again called? Aftermarket?
The Aftermarket Service Index.
Okay, can we just find that just by Googling that online?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
100%, yes.
All right.
And so we just published this year's study on April 25th. So there's
Oh,
a
brand new one.
press release
Awesome,
about
great.
that study. And
Good info.
it talks about, the drivers of customer experience for aftermarket service providers. So that I think some great data and analytics for service providers, whether it's independent or franchisees in terms of customer experience.
Okay. So J.D. Power has had the biggest impact on dealerships, not the independent auto repair shop owner, right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. So our podcast gets mainly to the independent auto repair shop owner, not to the auto dealership. But those surveys have had an impact on the automotive industry, not directly to an auto repair shop owner, but to the car dealers. And those numbers have helped. Those numbers that J.D. Power has provided has helped shape the industry, has it not?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because with those numbers now, the dealerships can make the informed decisions that they need to make to change the numbers to whatever their goals may be, correct?
Yes, correct. And there are also lessons to be learned for, in this case, service facilities, right?
Right.
To learn from, the learnings from the Service Satisfaction Index study as well as the aftermarket study as well.
Okay. Do you guys have any competition? Not really, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are other data and analytic companies out there, but, we think that we're clearly the top dog.
Yeah, I think you guys are clearly the 300-pound gorilla in the room, right? Yeah, there's no doubt about that, yeah. We heard about J.D. Powers when I was even a kid, the surveys back then. Auto dealership repair shop is the data that you're providing pretty much for the dealer auto repair facilities, aftermarket facilities?
No, so there are two different studies.
Okay.
So we have CSI,
Right.
Customer Service Index, so that's the dealer study.
That's the dealer study,
Or
right?
dealership, franchise dealers, and then the Aftermarket Service Index is focused on really franchise
Sure, the pet boys, all those, yeah.
Correct.
But you can get those numbers, and so those numbers would be very interesting for an auto repair shop owner. It's not the independent shop owner, it's the chains, but that's okay because we get to see what kind of information is in those.
So we look at various segments we look at initiation,
right?
What the experience with customers, getting an appointment for service. We look at the experience with the service advisor, the customer's assessment of the advisor's knowledge and expertise. We look at timeliness, facility issues. We look at quality as well.
Okay.
So all of those, roll up into overall customer experience for an aftermarket service provider.
Okay. All right. Great. How important is MAP to your organization, the JD Power?
It's an important relationship. We love being here.
Right.
And we have been a member of MAP since we launched the study 5 years ago, the Aftermarket Service Index.
Okay.
So
that's when you joined.
That's when we joined. Because prior to that, we didn't have a focus on the aftermarket, right? And so when Jeff asked me to come and participate, which we were going to do anyways, we certainly jumped at the opportunity to support.
Right.
To put forward that.
Does MAP help you build trust with your particular consumers, with your customers?
Yeah, I think so. It helps us spread the message in terms of intel for service providers, right? Because we do have data, we have analytics for those providers, and being in a forum like this gives us the opportunity to speak to those issues.
And this report, the 5th year that was just published, is this available to the independent repair shop owner also?
It isn't. It's available to the franchise clients and
that are paying for it.
And correct. But we do publish, there's a press release, there's some ancillary data, that we put out in the marketplace.
Sure.
That's accessible.
But the data is specifically for your customers that are paying you to produce all this data. And those are mainly the large national chains.
Right.
Why should any other organizations or companies join AMRA?
If you're in the aftermarket business, I think this is the place to be. It gives you an opportunity to network, to collaborate with other providers, whether it's, technology, tools, parts, those types of things. And even in terms of the legislative aspect of, some of the things that's covered here. And, I think those are all important reasons for someone to be associated with MAP.
Right. Okay. All right. Great.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.